Chapter 6. Paths Defined. Section 1. Crossroads. Location: Black's home. Time: day. Scene 1. Gazing of trophies. In Black's humble abode, the morning unfolds with his customary routine of gearing up for the day ahead. Amidst the familiar motions, his attention is drawn to the trophies adorning his space, silent testaments to his prowess gleaned from martial arts tournaments at the Zen Strike Dojo. Black had actively participated in 3 such tournaments, clinching victory in 2. These competitions were stratified into 3 divisions, categorizing contenders by age and skill level, from the formidable elite division, Division 1, to the more approachable Division 3. Each tier represented a distinct echelon of expertise. Yet, Black found himself perennially placed in the 3rd division, a fact that gnawed at his determination. His ambition burned bright. He aimed to hone his abilities to the point where he could proudly represent his dojo in the elite ranks of the divisions. Drawing nearer to his trophies, Black's fingers alight upon one, a silent vow echoing within his thoughts. I must improve, I must grow stronger. It's been 3 years since I embarked on this journey, yet I remain tethered to Division 3. With resolve kindled, Black departs from his quarters, seeking sustenance in the kitchen. Alas, his hopes are dashed as he finds the refrigerator barren, bereft of any culinary delights. Damn! Black exhales sharply, his frustration evident as he raises his eyes skyward, a silent plea for respite. Returning to his room, Black gathers his essentials for work, his passage interrupted by a fleeting farewell to his mother. Ensconced in the comfort of her movie-induced reverie, her lackluster response stings, prompting a terse exchange. "Goodbye, Mom," Black offers, met with a curt dismissal tinged with irritation, a clear signal for solitude. Stepping out into the world, Black sets his sights on the bank, his workplace, ready to tackle the challenges that lie ahead. Scene 2. An unexpected encounter. Now stationed at the bank's entrance, Black diligently performed his role as a shoe cleaner, attending to the footwear of those entering and exiting the establishment. For over 5 years, he had faithfully carried out this task, becoming a familiar presence to both bank employees and customers alike. As the hours passed with tireless effort, Black finally decided it was time for a well-deserved break, beginning to pack up his equipment. As he neared the completion of his preparations, a tall figure, clad in a dark suit and sporting sunglasses, approached, requesting shoe shine. Politely declining while gathering his belongings, Black informed the man of his impending break. The tall gentleman in the sleek black suit was none other than Skull, a member of the 5 and renowned as the group's 3rd strongest member. "I'll pay you 100 times more than your usual rate," Skull proposed, holding out a crisp $100 bill. Startled by the generous offer, Black lifted his gaze to see Skull extending the cash. "So, what'll it be?" Skull inquired, his demeanor leaving Black pondering his decision. "Damn, this man doesn't seem like one to fool around. $100 is more than what I make in a day. What's the worst that could happen?" he pondered. "I'll do it," Black responded, raising his hand to collect the money. Skull then took a seat on a chair meant for customers, and Black immediately got to work. "So, what might I call you?" "I'm known as Skull," the man introduced himself. "Pleased to meet you." "I'm called Black," replied Black, continuing his task. "Interesting name. I noticed you attend Zen Strike Dojo, and am guessing you're a good fighter," Skull remarked, attempting to keep the conversation flowing. "Hold on, sir. Are you following me around?" Black asked, puzzled by how this stranger knew about his visits to Zen Strike Dojo. "Oh no, Black," Skull responded. "I just happened to have seen you walk into the dojo a couple of times while passing by. You see, I too am a skilled martial artist. If you would like, I could teach you how to become more skilled at fighting. Black, now confused by this unusual interaction with a customer, hesitated before replying. I'm grateful for your offer, sir, but I'm afraid I have to decline, he said, putting the final changes on the shoes. That's fine, Skull said, rising from the chair. He reached into his pocket and retrieved a business card, extending it to Black. Think about it and let me know if you ever change your mind about my proposal. Black accepted the card, slipping it into his pocket, his mind swirling with questions as he watched Skull depart. Who on earth is this man? Echoed through his thoughts. With a sense of anticipation coursing through his veins, fueled by the prospect of earning more than double his usual daily income, Black packed up his equipment and headed home. Section 2. Philosophies of Success. Location: Adventure Duos Park. Time: day. Scene 1. Park stroll. In the lively expanse of Adventure Duos Park, where shimmering trees sway in the breeze and the sweet melodies of chirping birds fill the air, we find George and his son Zell enjoying a stroll. Spread across 25 sprawling acres, the park boasts a plethora of entertaining activities. As father and son meander through its scenic pathways, soaking in the beauty around them, Zell poses a thought-provoking question. Dad, do you think financial freedom equals success? George pauses to ponder before responding. It could be one aspect, but it's not always the whole picture. Financial freedom doesn't guarantee success. It's subjective, depending on how each person defines it. What's success to you then? Zell inquires further. For me, success is finding contentment and happiness in life, George replies simply. Zell is taken aback by his father's straightforward answer. I expected something more complicated, he admits. George silently reflects. You don't realize the journey it took to reach this simplicity. And what about you? How do you define success? George turns the question back. For me, success is about achieving my goals, Zell asserts. George is intrigued by his son's perspective. What happens when you've reached all your goals? He wonders aloud. I hadn't thought about that. Probably make new goals, Zell admits. What does happen then? Son, while setting and achieving goals is crucial, it's only part of the equation. Success isn't merely about checking off boxes. It's a journey of constant evolution and striving for equilibrium. However, it's vital to remember that everyone defines success differently. Zell mulls over his father's words. You make a good point. It's all starting to make sense now, he reflects inwardly. So, Dad, what's the best way to achieve success? Zell seeks guidance. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. Success is personal. Each person must carve their path based on their values and aspirations, George answers sagely. As they walk, an unexpected encounter disrupts their conversation. Zell accidentally bumps into a mysterious figure who, unbeknownst to him, is his future self. Swiftly, the figure passes by and disappears from view. Moments later, Zell collapses, leaving George deeply concerned. He rushes his son to the hospital, wondering what could have caused such a sudden collapse. Scene 2. The hospital. At the hospital, Zell was swiftly ushered into the emergency room, where various tests and diagnoses were performed, yet none yielded conclusive results. After an anxious hour, Zell regained consciousness, bewildered by his unfamiliar surroundings. The doctor entered his room and informed him it was time for discharge. Confused, Zell queried, Why am I in the hospital? I don't remember coming here. You were unconscious when your father brought you in, the doctor explained. Follow me. Together, Zell and the doctor exited the room and made their way to the lobby, where they found George, anxiously seated in a chair. Noticing their approach, George rose from his seat, his expression one of deep concern. "How are you feeling, son?" he inquired. "I'm feeling okay," Zell responded. Relieved by his son's answer, George turned to the doctor. "Thank you, doctor. So, what's the matter with him?" he asked. "Nothing serious, just a bit of exhaustion," the doctor reassured. "Has he been engaging in strenuous activities lately?" he inquired, directing his question to George. "Not that I'm aware of. Have you, son?" George turned to Zell. "No, Dad. Just the walk in the park," Zell replied. The doctor nodded, satisfied with their responses, and assured them that Zell simply needed rest for his body to recuperate. With everything settled at the hospital, George and his son made their way home,